So, the marketplace. Every town has them. They change and develop over the years. We've had this Broadmead for some time. Then we had the galleries, and now we've got this Cabot Circus. And of course, it changes in its nature as well. And now we've got online shopping. We're all ordering online, and the vans are scurrying around to our houses. But it's still a marketplace, really. Originally built as a place for the exchange of goods, but taking on a rather different character today, I think. I invite you to look at the advertisements that all of us are subject to all of the time, and just think how really weird they are. Something else is going on. And I'm going to describe that in this video as the project of the self. So, right next to Broadmead, there is this place. They called it the New Rooms, built in 1739. And actually, John Wesley lived here for many years. And over the channel in France, a political ferment was happening, which would result in the French Revolution. And that was not just a change of governance. It was a change in the way of thinking. The French Revolution was a deliberate attempt to sweep away the past. It was to move away from a traditional society with inherited titles and wealth and religious and moral systems into a new future. And what was that new future? In a way, the French Revolution created, not only for the French people, but for the whole of Europe, the possibility of a new way of thinking. But if the past didn't tell us how to think and feel, how should we think and feel in the new age? That was the question. In a place called Jena, right in the heart of old Europe, a man called Johann Fichte was lecturing to students, and they were avidly attracted to what he was saying. They were just so enthusiastic. And his idea was very simple. He said, the primary reality, when push comes to shove, is the self. It's just this being, this sense of being a person, a self in the world. And everything else, he said, was not self, and therefore of less importance. And he said the true life would be found in freedom from all external constraint, blazing away our lives as authentic selves. Others would follow in a similar vein. Jean-Paul Sartre taught existentialism to the people of France as he taught them not to accept the roles that society was putting upon them, but to live an authentic life, as he called it, which was a life of freedom. John Stuart Mill, a liberal thinker, put it all into an academic framework, teaching that people should be free to do whatever they liked, providing that they don't actually do damage to others. All seemed very reasonable, but it did ask questions about how people should cooperate in society. And it was Adam Smith who came up with the idea that actually it's okay, because the marketplace works by everyone attending to their own interest. Strangely, and he pointed out how, by everyone attending to your own interests, then the marketplace is efficient and it embraces new possibilities. And we've all found out that Adam Smith's invisible hand, as he called it, that would allow cooperation actually does work. And we've benefited from the embrace of all sorts of scientific and technological changes and a marketplace that could sustain the expression of all those. And we live very prosperous lives as a result. So that's okay then, we might think. The market, this market way of thinking has invaded all of our institutions, and it expresses itself in all sorts of rather strange ways now, as the people even consider themselves as brands and become influencers and sell goods and all that stuff. But hey, it's okay, we say to ourselves. This is the way it is. This is the way it works. And what then of the environmental crisis? What do we say about that? And how do we address that when we've built this great edifice? We have a debt-fueled economic system now that demands ever greater growth in order to even survive. We are consuming 100,000 million tons of stuff each year across the world, and that's projected to rise to 160,000 million tons of stuff by 2060. And that will have a devastating effect on the earth, and it is having a devastating effect on the earth. So what do we say? We have to recognize that we've got a really deep problem in the way that we are seeing the world. I think we have to address the fact that our politicians can't change the situation, because if they make anything like a radical change, then we cry out, but that's a constraint on our freedom. And we are very afraid of betraying the principle of freedom that lies at the heart of Western culture. So what do? I think we have to address the fundamental heresy, I suppose it is, that the self is the primary reality of the world. I think it's much better to say that the earth is the primary reality on which not only our lives, but all life depends. We have to recognize that the earth is a great power to which we are subject, and almost nobody talks that language at the moment. But we have to. And we have to find ways of impressing the reality of the earth upon us, of reimagining ourselves. So that we can learn to live in harmony with the earth. That, I believe, is the great challenge that human beings face today. How to make the earth real to ourselves. It sounds strange, but as we go on, I'll try to unpack it to give you more understanding of the practical ways that we can do that. So that's it for today. If you'd like to find out more about the Jenner set, actually an extraordinary set of people who lived in Jenner, then I suggest having a look at a book called Magnificent Rebels by Andrea Wolf. Please subscribe if you'd like to this channel, and check out the other videos to get a bigger picture of the sorts of things that we're exploring in this channel beneath the surface of the environmental crisis. See you soon.